Welcome to the Health Links podcast, where we bring you conversations that empower healthier living. Welcome to the Health Links podcast, where we engage in conversations that empower healthier living. I'm your host, DJ Thatcher. And normally, we're highlighting in our episodes a medical practice, a doctor, a new medical treatment, or some other service for patients that relate to health. This episode is a bit different. We're really aiming this more toward medical practices and businesses, but also to the lay public as well. So this episode, we're highlighting Tradebank of Charleston, and we have with us their regional owner, Jennifer Minchoff. Jennifer, welcome to the Health Links podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
So right up front, people might be thinking, okay, Tradebank, it's a bank. Why is that part of the Health Links podcast? But if I understand this correctly, I think this is pretty cool. Tradebank is an international third-party barter service that enables businesses to exchange goods and services for trade credits instead of money. Is that pretty much on par?
Yeah, pretty spot on.
Okay.
The only other difference is you have a broker that works just with your business.
Okay.
And she has usually a variety of different businesses that she works with locally. And then she helps you find places that you're spending cash and tries to convert that to helping you spend trade.
Okay.
And saving you that cash.
Interesting.
More cash in your own account.
Okay, so let's get back to the audience real quick, because we have part of our audience who are medical professionals and so forth, who might be thinking, okay, what does this have to do with me or my practice? And then we have the lay public who might be thinking, hey, I often tune in to find out how I can stay in shape and lower my blood pressure and so forth.
Yeah.
So let's talk maybe first to the medical practices, or really any business. How can they benefit through Tradebank?
Well, one of the ways that a lot of our practices have been able to benefit is they have a 40-hour work week, and they have openings on their calendar.
Sure.
How do you monetize those openings? Because you're looking for new customers.
Okay.
Well, by using Tradebank, you're filling that calendar up with business you wouldn't have had otherwise. So it helps fill those calendars because you're already paying your staff to be there for 40 hours. So how do you keep those rooms filled?
Sure.
So it's us helping put more patients in those rooms.
Okay.
For you.
So walk me through this. So let's assume I have a medical practice. I've got an opening from 10 to 10:30, another from 12 to 1, and one from 2:30 to 3 or something. So it's non-revenue generating. So how does Tradebank help to fill those gaps, so to speak?
For example, we've had some estheticians, and what they've done is they'll tell us at the beginning of the week, we have these appointments available, and we'll promote that out to our members.
I see.
And then our members that may have been thinking about it, that'll kind of trigger that, oh, I need to go ahead and schedule something because it's on Tradebank.
I see.
And then we're able to help fill in those empty gaps.
Okay. This is not going to be for a last minute cancellation type of thing, but I guess it's more for, like you said, at the beginning of the week or maybe for the next week, here's what's open and here's what's available.
Yeah. I think that works for both parties. A person trying to look for a doctor's appointment or a medical appointment, as well as the doctor. That way they know exactly what to expect that following week for their practice.
So Tradebank itself is not a traditional bank. I'm not going to go there for a car loan or open a checking account, right? So tell us a little bit more about Tradebank. I know it's not just here in Charleston, but how it came to be and exactly what it does.
Yeah, so in 1987 is when Tradebank was actually established as Tradebank.
Okay.
John Davis was the founder of Tradebank. He actually started his first trade exchange about 2 years prior to that, and it was the trade exchange of Macon, Georgia.
Oh, wow.
And quickly he realized he had something that was going to be expandable. And so he wanted to, reach other places, and the Tradebank, the trade exchange of Macon, Georgia really didn't fit for the name. So they rebranded in 87. And before, back then, it used to be paper checks. Just back in the 80s, everybody wrote a check.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
So your brokers were out collecting those paper checks from everyone, and then they would go back to their office and process those checks. So very old school way. We've come very far from that. Now have a mobile app and a website where everything's processed.
Sure. Yeah. Makes sense.
So it's a lot more streamlined in that sense.
So we talked earlier about the fact that it's a barter exchange. So we're really bartering what? I mean, I understand the time and so forth, but let's say I'm that patient who sees an opening in a medical practice. I was going to go there anyhow.
Yeah.
What am I exchanging, or how does that work?
Yeah. So that mobile app that we have, the way that it works is that person who came in for a service, if that was $200, now they, at the end of the service, they'll give their card number on the mobile app, and then that trade dollar will go from their account into the doctor's
into your practice. So where does that patient or client get the $200? How do they?
Depends on what business they have.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
we have jewelers that are in, so there's actual hard goods. A lot of people think, oh, well, it's just service-based. No, there's actual hard goods.
Okay.
The last broker event that we were at, I have fire pits, I have jewelry, I have solar panels. So it kind of runs the gamut as to what business is participating.
Okay, I see. So if I'm a jeweler, I've got all this great merchandise and so forth. I can barter that for that medical appointment, so to speak. Now, I'm not bringing a bracelet with me or anything, but it's just the value of that.
The value, yeah. So that's the beautiful thing is, the lawn care guy might have come into the jeweler and bought something from the jeweler, but the jeweler needs the medical practice. So then they're going to go to the doctor with that.
Okay. And then how does the doctor then claim that $200? Like they go to the jewelry store or they go elsewhere?
No. So with that mobile app, it goes right into their account. And now they have,
so they have a credit.
Yeah. Now they have a credit.
So they can hire the lawn guy to take care of the practices.
Exactly.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's kind of how the last 10, 15 years now, I've never paid for a dental appointment. I've always traded.
Wow.
Yeah. So when people pay me in trade dollars, now I get that, and then I'm able to spend that.
And how are you getting it? Not to be personal, but how do you get the money to do that? Like, what are you exchanging?
Right. So for me, because there's different, there's an initial sign-up fee of $4.95. I'll trade that out.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So that way I can cover my medical benefits. So like when I leave here, I'll go to an IV place and I'll get a drip IV services.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. All right. So, because it's the Health Links podcast, we're talking about the health aspects of this or the medical aspects of this, but this could be for any industry. So someone watching the podcast who is a roofer, who's a plumber, or whatever it might be, they can take advantage of this as well.
Yeah.
All right. So somebody who's intrigued by this and thinking, okay, I have a business, whether it's a service-based or it has products. But what do? They come to you at Tradebank? They literally walk into a branch, or how does this work? I figured.
It gives us the ability to be everywhere. Here, at least in Charleston, all of my staff work remotely.
Yep.
I have one that lives in Ondo. I have another one that lives up in the north area.
Okay.
In like Goose Creek, North Charleston area. And then myself, I live out in Somerville, but I am literally all over the place all the time. So it's a really great thing to be able to experience all over the country. I've grown up here, between here and Pennsylvania my whole life. But yeah, so when they want to start, go to tradebank.com, select Charleston as your option, and then there's an application online. They fill it out. It's really simple. It takes about 2 minutes to complete.
All right. And so there's that upfront cost you mentioned of $4.95 or something to join. And that's just an admin fee or whatever, I guess.
Yeah. So that a portion of that goes to our home office, and that helps set up their account and do maintenance. And then there's graphics that we set up so that way we can list them in that mobile app.
Okay. And so if I open up a new account today, how do I start to accumulate credits then?
Right. So the first step that we have, it's called an onboarding session. Your broker is going to reach out to you, welcome you into Tradebank, and then we're going to have an onboarding session. It's about 45 minutes to 60 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
That's so
pretty in-depth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the biggest thing that we want to know is how do we sell you? Because we're the extension of your sales force.
Okay.
We want to know, what are your specialties? What are your gaps?
Wow.
Because what we want to do is we want to take those, like that spare capacity, those office hours that are open. We have an OBGYN that is in Tradebank right now. And what she does is annual exams. And then she has an esthetician part. That's part of her service that she's like, I really want her to stay really busy.
Okay.
So we offer those services. And I think that there's another part to her practice that she has in the cash world, but she doesn't offer it in trade.
Okay.
Because that one is full at capacity.
I see. Okay.
So that's where we're unique.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because in the cash world, you could just keep going.
Yeah.
In the trade world, we are really just looking for that spare capacity to fill in the gaps, and fill in those usable things that you're not monetizing.
In my own mind, I'm downplaying the bank aspect of your name, the trade bank, because I'm thinking a bank and
Right.
But really, you're a business consultant. You're going to spend up to an hour with somebody. So I come into you, I do this type of thing for work, voice and video work, so I could exchange that.
Yeah.
For a dental appointment or something. Hey, I'll do your commercial for you or something. I guess, does that make sense?
Yeah. See, but the difference with you is you could do voiceovers, and we can promote you nationwide for everything.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, because what you do is a little bit more than just Charleston. You can offer everywhere.
Sure.
If it's a medical practice, that's more just here locally. However, if somebody said, well, I want to come in for plastic surgery, right now we have a plastic surgeon in Atlanta. We have people that are leaving Charleston to go to Atlanta for plastic surgery because it's on trade.
Okay.
And I had somebody go, there's no way. I'm like, oh, there's a way, because there's money to be had.
Sure.
And they want to be able to spend that.
Okay.
There.
From a medical standpoint, do you have many medical practices in town? And you probably don't want to list them, but I don't know if you have much or if this is really the beginning.
Well, no, we do. We have quite a few. Like the OBGYN that I mentioned, she's been a member for over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
We have a couple of the drip IV places that are in, and one of them's been a member for about 10 years as well.
Okay.
An urgent care doctor, the same thing. The dentist, like I said, I've been seeing this one particular dentist for 15 years, as well as my children. So my children have grown up in that practice. So yeah, we do kind of run the gamut. We've had actual doctors that have been in. The one doctor that we did have in, like primary doctor, he changed the way that he was doing things and a larger practice bottom out.
I see. Okay.
So that's kind of what we've experienced when we have ebbs and flows for what doctors are participating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. So this could be a real advantage to any business, but let's focus on a medical practice for right now, because like you said, you're filling those gaps. You're almost like their ad agency or their, I don't know how do I say that, but if they have openings, you're promoting those to the members who might decide to go there.
Right.
Okay.
And that's the one thing. Some people, I think they kind of go, well, you're a bank and we're not. So to your point, we're so much more than just a bank. We really do reach out. There are times that I've talked to businesses. I'm like, well, what are you spending on this? Like our OBGYN, one of the places that she decided, she's like, well, I really haven't taken a pay raise. I'm like, well, what would make your life better? She goes, I would really love weekly massages. And so then we went out and found a massage therapist to be able to provide that to her.
Okay.
So she was able to trade for it instead of spending cash. Now, could she have spent cash? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But how can we help her keep more cash into her account? So even if it's just personal wellness, we do marketing, branding, photos, because we have photographers that are on. So for medical practices to continue, staff changes, websites need to be updated. So they do all that kind of stuff too.
What are some other industries, especially for the lay public out here watching, things that maybe I'm just not even thinking about or they're not thinking about that are possibilities to barter?
Well, tomorrow I have a gentleman come in to cut down a tree in my backyard. And that's on trade because I looked out the back window and it's like hanging and I'm like, oh, we need to take care of that.
Okay, so when you call him, so it's Al's Tree Service or whatever, how do you approach that then? That, hey, instead of paying you a check or a card or Venmo, I'm going to trade credits with you. How does that conversation go?
Yeah, so for him, I took pictures. I sent it over to him via text. I sent him my address and my email. I said, I'll get you a bid. He sent me the bid. And I was like, okay, is all of that Tradebank? He goes, yeah, absolutely, no problem.
Okay.
So there wasn't any.
So he's already a member.
Yes, he's already a member.
That's it.
And so I already knew that's who I was going to reach out to for tree service.
Okay.
For example, like we have a couple of different restaurants all throughout. I say a couple. There's probably about 20 to 25 restaurants that participate, as well as some catering companies. But last week at the mixer that we had, because we have member mixers every month, at that mixer, I ordered a charcuterie board, a local place, and I stopped in there and I picked it up, and all I did was just send them an email like I was a regular cash customer. Say, hey, I want a charcuterie board enough for about 20 people. And he said, okay, great. These are your options.
Yeah.
They treat you just like a cash customer.
Sure.
Because essentially what you want is you want to create that bond and that experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that way anybody else, when they say, oh, this is who I go to, they're amazing, you want to continue that word of mouth.
I see.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So how do you approach that person who's not a member of Tradebank and you're trying to encourage them to come on board? Let's say it's the tree person.
Yeah.
So, hey, of course, I'm going to pay you whatever you want. Have you ever considered, and then maybe is that an opening for a discussion?
Yeah. And like some of the times I ask them, I'm like, well, what have you spent cash on in the last year that maybe, put a hurt in your pocket?
Mm-hmm.
Or what have you wanted to spend on, but you've been delaying that?
Okay.
Because sometimes the cost and point of entry is usually the stopping point. Matter of fact, the same tree company last year, I was like, well, what is hurting you? He goes, Jen, I can't keep employees. So I'm like, well, what's going on? He goes, the turnover is just high. I need more guys so I can keep putting people in trees, basically.
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, what are you doing for advertising? Like for advertising for, because it's a catch-22. If I put an ad out there, now I have to stop and I have to look at the resumes and I have to do all the HR part. I was like, well, we have an HR consultant on trade.
Oh, wow.
So she can write your ad for you. She can go through and cipher and pick your top 5 and give you your top 5 resumes. That way it narrows it down from the 100
Interesting.
that you got in to just 5. Would that work for you?
Well,
oh, I'd love that. So then he was able to hire 5 new people. Time is the one thing that we don't get back. Right?
No bank is doing this.
Yeah.
Well, this is really interesting. So is there a database like on the website? If I'm looking for maybe a car mechanic or something, can I look on the website and see if there is one and connect with them, or how does that work?
Yeah, so once you open your account and you have your membership with us, you log in and you can see everything.
I see.
You can see it on the website, you can see it on the mobile app.
Okay.
It's all accessible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a some kind of a trial period if I join? Because I want to make sure that it's going to be worthwhile for me, that there's enough other vendors there that it's going to make it make sense for me financially. Anything like that, or?
There's not really a trial per se, but there's you have to stay for the life of your business.
Okay.
If you decide after 6 months to a year, yep, this isn't working, you just give us a call or email.
Okay.
And let us know.
Fair enough. Yeah. Now, you're the regional owner for, I always have one of these in every podcast. So, Jennifer, you're the regional owner of Tradebank of Charleston. How many other locations are there around the country?
There are 10 regional owners here throughout the nation. Then we also have locations in Canada. Some of those regional owners have multiple locations.
I see.
Like our regional owner in Panama City Beach, I think she has 6 locations.
Okay.
And a regional owner in Huntsville, I think she has 2. So there's quite a variety.
So it's spread out pretty far.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have any problem bartering services with people, it sounds like.
Yeah, no, not a problem at all. Yeah, we have over 5,000 members nationwide.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right. So in the Charleston area, how's it going? How long have you been in business, and how's it growing?
So we had originally started our footprint here in 2017.
Okay.
I bought the franchise from the last owner about 3 years ago.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been around for a while.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Good. Are you getting many inroads with, like in this case, medical practices or that sort of thing? I know you mentioned a few.
Yeah, I would say we have at least a dozen that are participating members. But it's great to be able to add more on.
Sure.
Obviously, I think the biggest thing for me, I would love to be able to help our members not have to travel so far.
I see.
We all know how we get landlocked here in Charleston. And if there's a bridge, then you can't make it.
Right.
Yeah, everybody loves Charleston's traffic. But I think that's the biggest thing for me is being able to have more practices throughout the Tri-County area.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking, of course, about medical practices, but what are some of the industries that are most prevalent that are using Tradebank? Are there some that stand out to you more than others?
Restaurants seem to be the biggest thing.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Because obviously there's spare capacity. It's in some way, shape, or form in a restaurant, whether it be a certain day, a time, or if I have one restaurant who, when they join, they wanted to just bring awareness to their catering and their lunch.
Okay.
So it runs the gamut. I mean, we talked about dental, tree service, catering, I have my plumber who came out the other week when I had a leak. The moving company just had his transmission replaced. So,
okay.
yeah, it kind of runs the gamut. If you are in business, you can participate in trade.
Are there any kind of businesses that stand out in your mind, though, that probably wouldn't be a good fit? Anything come to mind?
The only thing really is that, I mean, taxes, postage, and life insurance.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Those are the three that have been the three. I've been doing this for 15 years. So out of the 15 years that I've been doing this, those are the only three that I've ever seen that, yeah.
So if you're not in taxes or life insurance, that sort of thing, probably. So as we wrap this up, so for our lay public, as I see, who's just watching the podcast, if they've got any type of a business they're involved with, they're probably eligible for this. What if they're an employee of a business? They can pitch this to their bosses, I guess.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, we've had some business owners who they've wanted to incentivize their staff, and they use as a staff incentive.
I see.
Whether it be medical, whether it be restaurants. Like I just had one of my, actually one of the medical practices messaged me and said, we want to do an employee incentive giveaway. Do you have gift cards?
I see.
And so then they'll buy gift cards for some of our members to be able to give as either, promotions or just a way to say thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
And for anyone tuning in who is with a medical practice, a dental practice, physical therapy, any kind of a wellness type of institution, and really any business that's involved in healthcare or anything else, they should probably reach out to you just to get some more information.
Yeah.
How do they contact you, Jennifer?
My phone number is 843-607-4818. That's my cell phone, so feel free to text me on that. Or my email is jminchof, as in Frank, F as in Frank, @tradebank.com.
You can link that.
Yeah, and you can always go to the website. There's a contact us at tradebank.com button there.
Okay, terrific. All right. Well, again, the discussion here about Tradebank of Charleston with its regional owner, Jennifer Minchoff. Jennifer, thank you for joining us here on the HealthLinks podcast. So we look forward to joining you in another episode where we'll engage in another conversation to enhance healthier living. I'm DJ Thatcher. Thank you for watching.